Hello, Brookhaven. I'm Inga Scoop, along with Elena Byline and Cynthia Darling. As another year comes to an end, welcome to our very special look back at 2021.
And what a year it was, Inga. Crime was at an all-time high, with one of the biggest stories being a hostage situation at the Brookhaven Bank. Fortunately, the quick thinking of elderly hostage Edith Frankel saved the day. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said for reporter Veronica VERITAS, who went missing. As seen in the cell phone footage, rumor has it her disappearance was linked to the secret group called the Great Wolf Society, who...
And in other news,
But I wasn't finished.
the Brookhaven PD has had its own share of trouble as an internal investigation was launched after an officer allegedly robbed the bank and shot her partner. These issues may explain why the Brookhaven Police Department has been unable to control the growing issue of gang activity. In the past year, we've had an infestation of reapers, an attempted zombie takeover, and gangs in every color of the rainbow, including the insidious Grey Gang, a group of elderly troublemakers led by bank hostage Edith Frankel.
And the crime doesn't stop there, Inga. Play All Day superstars Hoptastic and Hoptastic 2 were kidnapped by a puzzle-crazed psycho earlier this year. And a menacing stalker tormented the teens of Brookhaven. Perhaps as a result of all this danger, the local gun safety school has reported record attendance in 2021. Despite the rampant crime, there has been quite a bit of good news around town, starting with the much celebrated return of Club Brooks, which also marks the comeback of the owner Sherman Brooks, who had fallen on hard times after the club was shut down in October of 2020. But in 2021, not only did Mr. Brooks get his club back, he ran for mayor of Brookhaven. And this year's mayor race was quite a competition with 4 very passionate candidates. But Sherman Brooks emerged victorious. Soon after his inauguration, Mayor Brooks got married in a lavish church wedding. Sadly, Mrs. Brooks died soon after, we think. It's a very confusing funeral trilogy.
Speaking of the undead, a local branch of Ghostbusters has been quite busy this year as a series of local ghost stories have the citizens on edge. And also keeping them on edge? War. Our own Brookhaven news reporters brought us compelling coverage of the situation.
That's scary stuff, Inga. Let's turn to the lighter side of Brookhaven. The Little Miss Brookhaven pageant was held in August. Little girls of Brookhaven showed off their many talents, but Evie, the little girl with the golden voice, won the title of Little Miss Brookhaven. And speaking of golden voices, 7 of Brookhaven's finest musicians gathered in February for a benefit concert to bring back the auto shop. They raised an amazing 682,000 Robux, and the auto shop was brought back to Brookhaven a few months later. And just in time, sentencing the Brookhaven High driver's ed car needs some repairs. Yes, indeed, Elena. And that's not the only repairs needed in Brookhaven. A group of divas, including Ariana Grande, Madonna, and Orange Beth, came to town and left their marks on the airport and the motel.
And in other celebrity news, the show Riverdale filmed in Brookhaven this year, bringing Jughead, Betty, Veronica, and those gorgeous redheads, Cheryl and Archie, to our fine town. Also in our fine town this year was the TV show Cops, documenting our officers as they protect and serve Brookhaven.
How exciting!
Yes, and there's much more to come after this quick commercial break. Come to Brookhaven Airport, as seen on Air Disasters. We've got flights to exotic places like Nebraska, Singapore, Iowa, and Tailland. And as you can see, about 33% of our flights are on time, meaning 1 out of 3 flights will get you to your desired destination. Oops, another crash. Our flights offer quality air travel and top-notch service and are equipped with an emergency parachute exit, just in case. So fly the friendly skies at Brookhaven Airport. You'll probably live.
Were you or a loved one bitten by a zombie during the October zombie takeover? Or did you or a loved one suffer complications from the subsequent zombie vaccine? If so, I can get you the compensation you deserve. Gilbert T. Wolfpack, attorney at law. Call me, Brookhaven.
Welcome back to the best of 2021 in Brookhaven with Inga Scoop, Elena Byline, and Cynthia Darling. Drama was the word this year as Brookhaven endured frightening natural disasters as documented by the Weather Channel's own Storm Stories, which covered the Great Brookhaven Flood, the Brookhaven Tornado, Brookhaven Firestorm, and the Brookhaven Blizzard. After all of that very unfortunate and very destructive tragedy, Brookhaven was lucky to have HGTV's Flippin' Rosanna Baines come to the rescue, making Brookhaven the ultimate fixer-upper.
But they weren't the only TV stars to come to Brookhaven. The cast of Bigfoot Finders brought their search for the legendary creature, holding a town hall meeting to get local sighting stories. And the reality series Investigator filmed in Brookhaven as well. I just love that show. Brookhaven was also featured on the Food Network during the first annual Brookhaven Food Festival. It showcased a variety of interesting foods. Unfortunately, the event was shut down by the CDC. No word if the festival will be held next year. And Brookhaven's Best Model, hosted by Jasmine Love, aired not one but 2 seasons of their search of Brookhaven's Best Model. And finally, Air Disasters featured 2 of Brookhaven's most infamous and disturbing plane crashes.
Such compelling stories.
They really are.
We'll be back with our best of 2021 special after these commercials. If there's 3 things you can count on in Brookhaven, it's floods, fires, and out-of-control vehicles. Luckily, help is just a phone call away with State Farm. We protect what matters most with home and car insurance. Because like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Looking for a fun and exciting place to leave your kids? Look no further than daycare, Brookhaven's premier childcare facility. Located between the prison yard and a busy intersection, daycare also offers an adoption center in the same building with virtually no separation. What could go wrong? But that's not all. Daycare is also adjacent to an open, ungated, and unsupervised pool. Brookhaven Daycare, our doors are always open, wide open. Leave your kids here today. Welcome back to Brookhaven's Best of 2021 special. And now, for a bit of a whimsy, the town of Brookhaven has enjoyed some fun challenges. There was a scavenger hunt and the First Responders Challenge.
There was also the 10 Tunnel Challenge. where residents constructed a large tunnel of tents. And then there's my favorite, the Lawnmower Challenge, where people attempted a continuous chain of lawnmowers.
That was quite impressive.
Very.
And finally, Brookhaven's own Brookmark channel hosted a plethora of fine Christmas programming.
And that's right, it was the most wonderful time of the year, with a fashion show hosted by Jasmine Lux, and a parade featuring local talents, celebrities, and even Santa himself. Ho ho ho! Brookmark also debuted a new Christmas movie, Criss Cross Christmas!
But nothing showed Christmas spirit more than the Storybrooke tale, How Bob Saved Christmas. It was the story of an inept post office saved by an optimistic and enthusiastic hero.
I just love Bob. Me too.
What a year it was in Brookhaven. For more in-depth looks at any of these stories and more, visit Play All Day's channel. It has been an honor to bring you the best of 2021. From Inga Scoop,
Elena Byline, Cynthia Darling.
Happy New Year, Brookhaven!